Yeah. What up, Internet? Welcome to Bricks and Beer, episode 94. Holy shit, we did it.
Yes.
We're here.
Yeah.
We're not in an apartment. Well, we are, but we're not in an apartment where any of us live. We're in Seattle.
Except tomorrow.
Well, he lives
for
here
right now.
for now.
Yeah. Anyway, the Maxwell is right there.
Yes.
Next door.
Yeah. It's right over there. So we did a thing. This is the C-Lab episode. This silly shark outfit is big and hot, so I'm going to take this off. There you go. So fucking, it's pretty goddamn incredible.
We got the band back together.
We did. Yeah.
We did get the band back together.
First time all five of us have been in the same room.
For years. Literal years.
Holy shit.
I haven't seen this kid for 3 years.
Yeah, Brickcon
3 years.
2019.
I haven't left my country for 3 years. I left the country for this. Today's beer, wherever you're at, I'm drinking the Muir Pond Pale Ale. It's from Oregon. It's Pacific Northwest. I'm drinking what Andrew gave me. It's the Lagunitas Hazy Wonder. It's NorCal, right?
Yeah,
it's by you.
North Bay,
Yeah. And then you're drinking a Coke.
I'm drinking a Coke because there's caffeine to help me with the Bloody Mary I had with breakfast.
Yeah. Today we were supposed to try to be good for the party tonight. It's Saturday morning, afternoon-ish. So there's more things to come that through the magic of the internet you probably will get to see later in this episode, even though we, in this current timeline, haven't experienced that.
Sure.
But,
like, for instance, this happened.
What'd you do, Jeff? I don't know what that's supposed to be.
I don't either.
You didn't put a cut there.
Which could happen.
No,
which could happen.
Jeff, you can't do it. Yeah, you're right.
So we have a giant kick-ass display. We've been here for 3.5 days. It's fucking incredible. We should definitely talk about the display. We'll talk about the display. I'll show you some fucking video and some photos and things, so you won't just have to look at the five of us while we're talking about this. And then, because we're cool, we'll talk about some of the builds within it and some of the recognition they're gonna get, and hopefully those dudes have been recognized by now. We'll see. I told you that thing's fucking hot, dude.
Yeah.
It's warmer than you think.
Well, it's cold in the deep blue sea.
Yeah. So speaking of deep blue sea, do you just want to talk about like logistics, Zach? Because I feel like that's kind of where this starts, right?
We basically put a call out on the Discord for people to bring C-Lab stuff. We coordinated and had the base structure pretty much worked out, and then said, hey, if people want to send stuff, cool, send it, and we will put it on the table. And people send stuff from ridiculous places.
Big stuff.
And big shout out to Zach for receiving everything.
Yeah.
And ferrying it here.
And also
being the mule.
Will Hafner also received a bunch of entries. So shout out to him as well.
We as a team, we've really kind of like come together to make this happen. Both like here, boots on the ground wise, and then fucking people from all over, including people from out of the country on the other side of the world, which is wild. But so Zach, you built your base how many times?
2 or 3. And again, it's that we talked about this a little bit. It's the positive feedback loop, right?
Yeah.
Feedback loops can be bad. Ours was good. I built my base. Jeff built his. I was like, oh, my quality is not as good. Now I need to rebuild it, and then I just. You had the puppy disaster. Yes.
Right.
Here's a photo of the puppy disaster.
Oh, thanks. I forgot about that. But that was the worst. Rebuilding that. It was like a day. It took an entire day to rebuild it, which sucked because that was a day I could build it. Logistics wise, it worked out super well. People mailed stuff from everywhere, which is phenomenal.
So
the one logistic wise that didn't work is we thought we only had 16 feet.
That's what I wanted to get to.
Of table space.
This was a fun evolution.
So and I'll talk about that real quick. So we talked to the dudes. We said, hey, we're bringing the noise. They said, okay. And they're like, what do you need? We said 16 feet. They're like, that's a large ask. And I'm like, yep. And they said, okay. And I'm like, yeah, can you figure it out, please? And they
shout out to Brickcon.
Yes,
Yeah.
dude.
Wow. And Jeff was like, show them moon base.
Yeah.
Tell them
Show
we're
them
those
this is
guys.
Right,
So we show up and they gave us a special display space. It's not in sci-fi. It's
we
our
are special.
It's our own space, and it's 32 feet long. And they said, yeah, put yours here, and then the overflow will be the other
Yeah,
part.
you have half of this.
We have half of this.
Yeah. And the rest is overflow.
Right.
Which
For
we
the rest of the con.
overflow.
Yeah.
It quickly became apparent that
we
were not going to do 16 feet.
Ancient China we just Alexander the Great.
Yeah.
And
rest of the
annex.
And then the funny thing is, they're like, okay, we'll leave like 4 feet on each side. Okay,
For
we'll leave
actual
2 feet
overflow.
on each side.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
kept
yeah.
moving it, and then finally I talked to the dude and I was like, hey, is there any overflow? And he's like, I think you're all right. And I'm like, so we could have the whole space?
Yeah,
and he's like, yep. And then it was like 32 feet.
Well,
we took the table.
Yeah.
And so Zach, being Zach, is like always the guy that like I'm maximum effect, minimal effort, and I feel like Zach. Sometimes you go for maximum effort, and you were like, okay, we're gonna do a 16-foot space, and Zach built this backdrop in like. And it was kind of up in the air as to whether we were even going to have time to do it, and you fucking slammed it out in like what, a day?
Yeah,
like
day and a half, yeah.
Sewed all the backdrop, all this shit.
Yeah, for 16 feet.
For 16 feet.
Yeah.
And we're kind of on the fence, and like the spot that we have, which looks like this, it's got black curtains literally right behind it, so it made the backdrop really redundant. And like we were thinking like, oh, we'll hang stuff off of the PVC infrastructure frame, and then there's like a metal sprinkler system along the top, and we were like, we could hang things from there if we wanted to. It was just this perfect thing where it was like the spot was excellent.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
couldn't be better.
Yeah,
It
it was an amazing spot. It was
And
super
much
fun.
like a goldfish, we grew to fill our little
Right,
little
right.
bowl.
Yeah. There was definitely some talk in the early, like when Zach's sort of doing the thing, which I would never do, which is ask for permission. And they're like, well, what if we really only need 12 feet? And like we start doing the math, and fucking Jeff, being a guy like me who's
Show
super
the
analog,
diagram.
made
The
a
diagram.
fucking diagram.
Paper.
It's right
Yeah.
there. What Jeff said.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we realized like, no, 12 feet, we're gonna be fucked. Like there's so many big pieces, and people brought huge things, and then the homie Jack, the real mad Lego man, his shit just keeps getting bigger as the con gets getting closer, and we're like, Jack's really a wild card. Like we're not really sure how big this stuff is gonna be.
He was up till like 4 a.m. finishing that base, like the night before.
Which is amazing.
He's savage. He is definitely savage.
Yeah.
And then there was a shit ton of stuff on the table, and then us pulling stuff off the table, and us putting stuff back on, which I think you should probably speak to, Jeff, because you kind of led the charge on that end.
Well, it went through. It was pretty. The Angus McLean was this keynote speaker last night. The guy who directed Buzz Lightyear and a bunch of other stuff, and he talked about the process is revision, and that's what we just kept on doing. It's kind of like put all the stuff on, and I was like, all right, what if this? Move stuff around. That creates a ripple effect to all the other decisions, and then just doing that like. Oh, maybe 10-ish times.
Yeah.
Well,
and of course we're also
and the footprint's growing like
Right.
every time we're doing that.
It's a very organic process, which I like. Like I feel like Jeff was kind of like principal art director, but all
Thank
of us
you.
kind of took turns being art director.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Throughout,
And that's
you know?
and
It's
that's like the sort of collective element of what we do is always one of my favorite parts of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we're like the common goal is sort of baked in, you know,
Yeah.
and so and then. But I think Zach, you were actually the one who said like we need to really boost the negative space. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, since
Yeah.
we have the
I
head
think-
table.
I think Morrow said it, and I think I
Oh,
just
really?
said, yeah. I think Morrow was like, yeah. Let's
Zach
do this, and
stole
I'm like,
Morrow's
yeah.
idea.
I did. I basically said, well, I just told you because Morrow. We talked about it.
Well, and everything did need to breathe because it was
Yeah.
like
That's the
we
big
have so much shit on that fucking display. Like that 32 feet is not anemic. Like
Nope.
it is
Yeah.
full of life, and
But
there's
it's purposefully anemic. I
Well,
wouldn't
I mean-
say anemic. It's purposefully done with
Yeah,
some
the-
space.
the spots that need to breathe have some room to breathe.
We were still
like
working
it's
on, like-
appropriate.
like-
Don't touch the thing because then we'll fuck all this up, and then
Okay,
I'll have to
alright.
put some sort of weird in between thing with something.
Okay, I'm not gonna touch anything.
Okay.
Nobody even.
Just making sure. Just
Yeah.
making sure.
Now you made me forget what I was gonna say.
No. Now you really have to touch it because the fucking screen turned off. And
Well, it's
nobody
like-
knows what's going
But the
on.
green-
Should I
there's a
do?
green
Should I?
light.
Should I tap it?
Happen.
What happened?
Yeah.
Should we check?
No.
Well, we'll give you like 5 minutes and then we'll break and then come back because
No.
I can do whatever I want because I can.
Yeah,
control
we
this.
edit this now.
So you control
yeah.
the action.
Yeah, exactly.
You control
exactly.
the action.
But so like speaking of the action, I think one of the things that is really really cool about doing these collab displays, and I was talking to Jack about this. It's like there's all this effort put on the front end, right? Like everybody builds things and they plan and they talk about what they're building. We have all this like, this is the vision, and then we actually get here, and what ends up being on the table consists of those things, but it's never the way
Right.
that we plan. Like it always fucking, it's a very organic like process to arrive at the final
You
product.
can't take out the X factors, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, even with the snotted landscape that we had in 2016, like there was still plenty of
Yeah.
wiggle room for things to be different.
Well, and I think the way that this worked out is so we kind of have like we have a history of doing these things, and if you guys don't know about that, why are you watching this? Or go
Yeah.
watch the other ones, or I don't know. But so we did Moonbase, which is the one you're referring to that has a big snide landscape that's very sort of like locked in because of where things are on the landscape as far as like the big elements. But because of the way this was structured, this was more like Star Vikings, where it was these little like independent floating islands. It makes the Tetrising and the like rearranging so much easier and so much organic. It's so much so that fucking Tony Hafner was like, I think the Moonbase standard of just plates and everybody having to stick to a grid is outdated.
I agree.
Like
Oh,
this is way better.
Get off the grid.
Yeah, yeah.
So speaking of Tony Hafner, the amazing thing is he shows up and he's like, "Hey, you guys want a monorail?"
Yeah.
Like, yes.
Again.
Yeah, again.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Every year, thanks to him.
And I'm like, yeah, sure. And he's like, okay. And he disappears and he's back in like 10 minutes with the freaking bin of
box.
monorail.
Yeah.
Monorail.
And because of this off-the-grid networking, we could easily move stuff around to accommodate.
yeah.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
monorail
that's true.
Yeah.
And like
deployment.
and you
Which-
can put things under the monorail, and
Yes.
behind the monorail, and all
Absolutely.
around. Like
And
it's-
so like we're just like, Tony, go. And he's like, and he just did his thing, and then we just
Built
used
around
that.
it.
Yeah, worked around it.
Because in Moonbase he wasn't able to loop, right?
Correct.
He had to go back.
yeah,
and
yeah, it
forth.
had to bounce.
Yeah,
it had to bounce. Which the looping, honestly, is like
It's so good.
it's so cool,
Yeah.
and it's one of those things where like lights motion.
Yes,
Man,
exactly.
Joe Public.
And it's curvy. It's like going in and around the other builds. You know, it's not just like kicking around in the back.
So,
So-
one other thing I want to call out when we're talking about motion and action, Brahms crab.
Mhm.
So let me tell you something. People come up and they see it, and there's people pointing and looking at it, and then you have the remote control crab. As soon as you activate the crab and there's a kid there, it's immediately like, oh, the crab will move. And it's like
That's
this
rad.
massive
Hell yeah.
excitement.
Nice.
And so, yeah, so it's like, you know, there's people with the crab remote, they just kind of stand there and someone comes up, and then when someone gets close, you just do it, and they don't know it's coming. And it's just like this huge draw. Like, it's a massive
Shout
draw.
out.
Like, the crab is like,
Shout out to Brahms' wife Minnie, who
Oh,
made the
yes.
remote
The
control
crab remote.
resemble a crab.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
That
it's
is
fucking
beautiful.
gold.
that has
dude.
gotten as much comments as the crab.
Yeah,
They
which
see
is
the crab-
hilarious,
they see
like-
the crab remote, and they're like, there's a crab remote for the crab.
And
Yeah.
who made the doofy Aqua Raiders guy who's got the bullet bomb Mario piece in
That's
him?
Palmer.
Palmer.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've been facing that guy off with the crab remote a bunch.
Oh, rad. That's
Yeah.
perfect. That's
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah. Yeah, it's like all these little moments, you know, that you can build in there. And we kind of, I think that's where it's like the 2 days of revision, all that work goes into that storytelling,
Yeah.
which this is just how the group works. This is, you know, when you're on a team, it's not about you, it's about the team. And what the good team does is they leverage your individual strengths and weaknesses.
Mhm.
So, Zach mans the public day, along with Jack, who we are
Jack
now
is
discovering
the
is
newly
kind of the
recruited man.
sixth Ninja Turtle at this point.
Hey,
Yeah.
he's over there with the crab remote.
Right now,
Controlling
impressing
the crab.
children.
Yes, that's
And-
what it is.
and
It's
then
his
there's-
first con, by the
It's his
way.
first con.
Yeah,
He's having a great time.
yeah,
Yes.
fucking.
Hopefully.
Shout out to Jack.
Yeah.
If I don't fuck this up, You'll probably hear from Jack later in this episode.
Yes.
And then there's people like me and Aaron who are like,
Dirtbags.
well, here's our stuff. You guys do your thing. We'll be outside in the
To be
parking
fair,
lot.
I put together like Micah's thing. I put together
We
one of
did,
Micah's
we
things.
did, we did.
Yeah.
I also put together one of Micah's things, and I don't want to put too much, inside baseball, dirty laundry out there, but when you handle somebody else's builds, you do get to know them on a little bit of a deeper level. It's like,
So Aaron was commenting.
oh,
about
there it is.
Micah's-
There's all the dirty laundry.
No.
Yeah,
Aaron
no.
was commenting about Micah's build. He was like, "Dude, this is really nice."
Well, how
He's
do you make-
reassembling. He's like, "Whoa."
How do
Yeah.
you make like a manta, which is basically just like a flat, like dish?
Yeah.
Interesting. And
Yeah.
there's like subtle curves. I was like, yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's a little nerve wracking handling someone else's
Yeah.
like builds.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Dan Rubin's build, I touched once, and then I just quietly backed away from it. It looks incredible.
Yeah,
It is gorgeous. The light is gorgeous.
Nobody's swooshing that motherfucker around
No.
anytime
You
soon.
can, but
But it's practically center stage on the dial.
it is.
Yeah,
And for a
yeah.
reason, like the public, like it points to the lights effect on that with the engines. It's
Yeah.
just phenomenal.
Yeah. So Aaron and I are dirtbags and we haven't been to public day. So obviously you guys have been. It seems like the crowd reaction is fairly positive.
It's
Is
extremely
that-
positive.
Okay. Is there anything that you're hearing kids like shout about?
Yes.
SpongeBob.
Is it in the monorail?
Yeah.
I
So-
knew it.
So,
I knew it.
So we took SpongeBob off the back because he was too hidden, and there's the Easter eggs, right? So we put him in the monorail, but then he was in the back car, and the monorail was going around. And then
Oh, he needed to be driving?
And Tony's
Yeah,
like, I
okay.
think SpongeBob needs to drive for a while. Tony switched SpongeBob to the driver, and I am not
Just
shitting you.
fucking every kid.
Within 1 minute, some kid was like, SpongeBob is in the monorail or in the train. He said train, but SpongeBob
Yeah,
is
yeah.
driving the train, and it was like, dude, it was almost instantaneous. And
I
for
knew
that
it.
kid to notice
I
that,
knew
I was
it.
like, dude, this is nuts.
That's. I mean, when you
And
have
we
a
took
big
Patrick,
display.
we took Patrick in as well. He's like in the manta rays.
Last night during Friends and Family, I was standing right of center of the dial looking at something, and I hear this clunk, and I look over, and
Oh, yeah.
some little like 6-year-old kid had grabbed the monorail and knocked it off the track, and his dad was very awkwardly going like, and I was just kind of like, just hand that to me. I'll take
Yeah,
it.
you were like
Yeah.
that's a 40-year-old.
Tony, that
very
didn't happen.
expensive
That
piece
didn't
of
happen,
equipment.
Tony. It didn't happen.
Right, no, I made all that up, Tony, but really, everybody else, it did happen, and it was fine.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
but the dad, because his friends and family and the stanchions weren't up yet, or
Yeah.
it was earlier maybe.
Yeah, it was.
And there were no stanchions up yet, and the dad was like, "That's why you don't. This is the thing. It says do not touch because of you." As they walked away.
Yeah.
So if you're watching, dude, it worked out. It's
Yeah,
cool.
it's all good.
Your
It's
kids
all
welcome
good.
back.
So far, very little disaster. I felt
Yeah,
that this
that's
has
true.
been
Dude, everything
so
shipped
on
really
point.
well.
Yeah, I was just waiting for like the other shoe to drop
Well,
the entire time.
The other thing that really helps is the day early.
Yeah, we are going with you can't see this, but there'll be a photo. It says low stress convention vibes. And we're all getting old as fuck now. So like we're trying to make this like as easy and like just fucking relaxing, like not making it an ordeal. And so far it's been fucking great.
Yeah.
Like I feel like all the things have worked out. Like everybody that mailed in shit, there was no like real fucking obnoxious crisis. There was no like
We got a box of parts.
or oh my god, fucking USPS lost something.
Right. yeah.
Or, now what are we gonna do? We didn't have any of those moments, which was pretty rad. All things considered, and then obviously like all of us getting here too, it's always like, the fuck's gonna happen? I bought the cheapest suitcase you could buy at Target, and I thought 100% it was just gonna explode because I put as many Legos inside of it
Oh,
as
yeah,
you're
right.
allowed to.
I stressed my luggage so hard. I really
Dude, yours was 44 pounds, right? Or what was yours?
47. at
Yeah,
the end.
and the max is 50, so you're
Yeah.
like packing.
I came in 3 pounds under the
Yeah,
limit.
jeez.
Well, and I'm just envisioning like the TSA conveyor belt with like 10,000 Ziploc bags just like jamming into the rollers, So it's like
Oh man.
It's all worked out. It's been amazing. There's still more of the con to go. Like I said, it's Saturday morning right now. So there's the party. It's coming.
Right.
There's awards.
I want to say, last night, the party was there.
Yeah.
Last night felt like...
Last night was the rockinest Friday
Yeah,
night.
last night felt like a memorable Saturday night.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling like, if you want to talk impressions of the con...
Yeah.
Just tap the control button.
Shout out to Ryan for organizing a draft and using his fucking amazing Legoland abilities to know what
We'll
sets
cut
to
that.
pick, how to draft, like how to set it up, and it went super fucking quick. Like a good draft is one that is exciting and moves quickly, and it was like everybody was in it, and there was no question.
Everyone who was in it was seasoned. Like Like,
well, except for Jack. Shout out to Jack.
But he's been a seasoned builder for years.
Right.
Yeah, that's
so,
true.
Like, everyone there was like super seasoned. There was no noobs, no like first.
Well,
timers.
it was like, I mean, we would just, hey, your turn, and like the longest we waited was maybe 20
Probably for me.
seconds. Yeah, I was not gonna call you out. I think it was actually
I'm
Tom
slow.
because whatever.
Yeah.
No, but it's okay.
I liked how fired up people were too. Angus
Dude,
McLean,
Angus
he's like
the
he's
place
normally a pretty kind of low key dude. He was him and Nathan were fucking having a showdown.
Yeah, he kept on
scooped it.
scooped it.
Like,
Like, he cut his grass like 3-4 times in a
God.
row. It was pretty great.
The best thing was when when you're drafting, you know kind of what you're going to do, right? And it was so funny because I saw Angus, who was picking like fourth. Angus goes around the table, starts to grab parts, and then I'm like, okay, Angus is grabbing. Okay, Nathan, it's your turn. And Nathan goes to turn to grab the parts, and Angus has already got the
There's just
same
an empty
part.
spot.
And Nathan's like, where did those? It was speechless.
Yeah. And then fucking Derek, shout out to Deeble, brought homemade wine that he's grown and fucking bottled, which was delicious.
I like the way at the beginning of the night he was handing out little bit for everyone to taste, and by end of night he's walking around with the bottle in hand.
Immediately before the draft, he was like, "Does anybody want to drink a full glass of red wine before we do this?"
Yes, he was Bacchus.
Oh man,
dude.
Actually, one of my favorite moments of the con was seeing him and Rye walk past each other, and they didn't stop and talk. But Rye looks up, he sees Derek, and he goes, "Shaggy." Shout out to John Palmer for that one. Swole Shaggy.
By the way, when I saw Derek, I haven't seen Derek again for like 3 years, and I was like, "Bro, your hair is wild!" Holy shit!
No, as soon as he got out of service, he turned into a wild man.
Yeah. He's definitely living in the Canadian wilderness.
But we posted a picture of him and from opening ceremonies, and he was wearing a green shirt. So Palmer goes, "He looks like Swole Shaggy."
Well,
because,
when we say
Derek
a photo of him, it was a photo of like 1,000 people that Palmer had
he
zoomed in. Yeah.
But the next day, Derek brings in a minifig of like a swole, like diving suit wearing minifig to take a knife to Palmer's giant mecha squid. He's like, I'm coming for you, dude.
Yeah.
So that's how we fight.
Oh, it's fucking incredible. It's just been been a weekend of like good moments and good times and good builds, and like there is some other cool builds in the con. Like we've all done the laps and looked at the models and stuff.
Yeah.
If there's anything you guys want to point out, I could throw it in here.
What's on the table right here, dude? What do you
Well, let's talk about other builds before we get to our
Yeah,
shit.
sure.
The one thing that I do want to fucking shout out is there's a classic space like 4 times up display. I think it's 4 times
those are
up.
great.
But he chose this fucking derpy robot set that is it's incredible. There's a photo, you can see what I'm talking about, and there's the
Now you have
original
to remember
shit.
to go around and take a photo.
Yeah. And there's some other cool stuff. I don't think there's anything, and this sounds super douchey, but I don't think there's anything that's like clearly obvious. Like all 5 of us would be like, "That's the thing. Did you see the thing?" That's not to say that there's not good builds by any means, because it's a fucking convention hall full
Yeah,
of
that's some good
builds.
stuff. The thing that we were talking about last night is I forgot it again. It's like the lost city of Arabia, or
that one's nice.
distant memories of Arabia.
Yeah, that one's nice.
And the giant turtle next to it is pretty nice.
The
Too.
giant,
That one best showed last year, I think.
Yes, it did. Yeah.
Yeah.
The castle is beautiful.
Yeah.
There was-
I mean, it's on the back of a giant turtle,
Yeah.
which is also notable, but the castle is.
There's,
So good.
there's something in space which you guys should look for also. It's a small vignette that just was like super clean and stood out to me, and it's just of like a stasis chamber.
Oh.
Okay.
I'll have to point it out to you guys.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I saw that.
I'll send a picture so you can put it.
Yeah, there's what's the fucking THX movie?
THX 1138.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty cool. Just based on like the lighting and how clean it is, it looks
Like
very
it's stark.
cinematic.
It is
yeah,
very stark.
yeah.
Which is
And
what
they did the
THX
horizonless background in the back. Like, there's no corner between the back wall
Yeah,
and the floor.
that's actually a
Yeah,
really good.
I think
yeah.
that's one of the main like features of that.
Um,
film.
Why,
So-
and also why it's so nice.
Speaking of backgrounds, there's a Mandalorian build that has a brick built like sky
Yeah,
background.
Sunset.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, like the Mandalorian. Obviously, I'm a Star Wars nerd, and I like shout out Star Wars. I like Mandalorian. I like the show. I like all of that. You could take that fucking spaceship off of there and just give me that landscape and that backdrop, and I would be like totally in. That's a fucking gorgeous build.
I did take a picture of the mock, but I took a picture of the mock card because it read "Another Mandalorian N1 mock."
That's great.
Oh,
That's
wait.
great.
I want to call out Lego Joey or Joey.
Oh yeah.
His orange, bright light orange fighter with the purple
Yeah.
windscreen.
Yeah, yeah.
It's this tiny little spaceship,
Oh, I haven't seen
but
Doesn't it use kayaks or canoes?
It's a Duplo.
No,
Oh,
it's
is it?
not that one. That's a different
That's
one.
another one. Joey's got a bunch of cool stuff in
Yeah.
the show.
But dude, he has this one that I want to. Before we leave, I'm gonna just go and say, hey, I want to swoosh this, and Jeff and I were talking.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you gonna
so
squid
fun.
ride it?
Me
No,
first.
don't put that picture.
Oh, it's it.
Squid riding?
Oh, dear.
We told you it was gonna happen.
Yeah,
man.
man. Why'd
We
you
told
take the
you.
picture?
Yeah, it's not like I just got it in a message. I wasn't even there.
It had to happen.
Yeah, and then I mean, there's tons of shit. Angus has a fucking cool little, it's super deformed transformer. Has an adorable face.
Oh, he's got this really funny Chili Willy build too.
Yeah, I love this chili.
I don't think I've seen
I
that.
haven't seen any of those.
So
He's
it's
like
almost-
Chili Willy is the penguin.
Yeah.
His
Oh
ice
yeah,
cream
oh yeah, yeah.
shape.
it's almost like vignette size, but it's
Yeah,
great.
it's
Yeah,
it's
yeah. And then so one other thing that's happened this con, it was like we're just having a fucking good time. Is Aaron brought all these vintage catalogs, so we've been like
Oh, yeah.
geeking
Oh,
out on
yeah.
these vintage
Those are
catalogs,
Yeah.
which are all super cool. And like literally, I think it was Friday night or Thursday night, whatever, some night. And I'm talking to Aaron, and I'm like showing him the Blacktron 2 thing. I'm like, dude, I would love to do like an inset base plate Blacktron 2 base like this. And fucking Justin has an entire Blacktron
Oh,
2
yeah.
base, which
With
is
monorail.
with monorail.
Monorail.
And it's motorized. It's got all this fucking cool shit, and he's doing all the things. But the thing that impressed me the most is
Was
that
it the
he
logo?
did the B.
Yeah. It's the logo.
The-
Oh
Dude, it's
the brick
shit,
builds?
dude!
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Dude,
that's
it's
gangster.
awesome.
That's
Yeah,
gangster.
it's fun.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess that's kind of the con so far. There's gonna be more that we'll talk about in this episode, but for now, we should talk about what's in front of us, which are some builds that I didn't build. You built, and they're fucking incredible. Like, so these are.
Do you want to swap so you?
No. But I will. I
Yeah,
do
yeah.
want to say. Let me just
Oh
say.
no, let him.
No,
him
let me
say
just
that.
say real quick. So, I've been to con before, and I've got some amazing trophies, and I've also gotten trophies that look like an afterthought. So my thing is like, dude, if you're giving someone something because you like what they build,
They-
like, don't
they
give them
achieve
a pile
something.
of crap.
Right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and that's basically my thought process for this.
Well, and to be honest, Zach, like you're a fucking really talented builder, and
Thanks.
when you showed all of these, every single one of these, like you did these basically real quick, right? And like all of us were like, damn, because you posted one, and we were like, fuck,
Yeah.
Zach, really? Like your
Yeah.
fucking trophy, I feel like is maybe better than like half of my builds. Like, god damn it! And then you hit trophy number 2,
Yeah.
and then trophy number 3, and then you hit trophy number 4, and by trophy number 4, I was like,
Yeah.
should I just go home?
So, no. So I was in the zone on these. I don't normally build fast, but these, like, I knocked them out fairly quickly.
Yeah.
And but again, it was a little fiddly, so for some parts, obviously. But dude, it was fun, and it's like when I was passionate about it, and like I said, this isn't gonna suck. It's gonna be something that people want to win. So.
So are we gonna like do?
Yeah, so what these are, just to like let everything out of the bag, is these are trophies for our display. Because, our display will win maybe something, but
Probably something.
if it doesn't, who cares?
Yeah.
Because it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And so we have a tradition of doing this. Like, when did this start? Moonbase?
No, Star Vikings.
Star Vikings,
Vikings.
okay,
We
so
did
it's-
Star Vikings.
Remember Star and Viking?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So it's been here the whole time. Like we've always done this sort of like inner circle recognition, and it somehow is just kind of like ratcheted up.
I
Because-
think that
And it's
ratcheted
always
is-
Zach, because Zach.
Yeah,
is
it's always like
Zach
Yeah.
is the hero of the community.
This is, I got it. Thank you. But yeah, really, I just was like, it's gonna be a problem at some point because how do you top what you did before? But
yeah.
Magnus?
To me,
Magnus.
this to me feels like the plateau, and if everything is like this going forward, I'll be happy.
Yeah,
that's
I'm totally fine if we peak here.
I love it.
So should we announce who wins what?
Yeah. So let's
Do
talk
you wanna start
about
at the
That's
top?
that's
Well,
my next year's engraved brick.
let's talk about kind of like the how this works, right?
Yeah.
So there's basically two components of participation because we now live in a fucking
Post-static
fucked up world where there is boots on the ground, local, you brought a thing participation, which obviously all of us in this room have done to some extent. And then there are people who have sent things from across the country, from across the world, and that is almost kind of even more impressive to me than like showing up, because it's when you show up to the party, you don't want to be a loser. You don't want to be outside the VIP room. You want to be in the VIP room, like with the party, right? So like, of course you're gonna bring something or participate, but when you're not even there and you're fucking putting in the effort and like sending things out, that's really wild to me.
Yeah.
And I think honestly, like if every single person that sent stuff in wants to be here, like they would be here if they could be here.
And we wanted you here.
Yeah. So I think we should start with those awards because I think those are number one. Like we want to talk about all the builds.
Yeah.
Like the display's fucking awesome, and I'm kind of like dodging around talking about the display because we should talk about what we're gonna recognize, and then all of it's rad.
Mm-hmm.
But so we've got.
virtual. So you want virtual?
Yeah, so
right?
let's do the virtual awards first. We've got a couple. We have basically like 3 different categories.
So let me just say real quick, these trophies right here are for the 3 are doubled up for the virtual and the in-person. So
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
getting the same trophy.
So this first one, number one. Also, Zach, you're so fucking good at running the show and being in charge. The printed bricks.
Yeah, with the printers.
Oh, yeah.
And-
So
dude.
anyone that contributed is getting the printed bricks.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
Moro did the vector graphics,
Yeah.
which are
Yeah,
phenomenal.
and we have lots of swag. So even if you didn't get a trophy,
Yeah.
you fucking mailed
Okay.
something in, you showed up.
Yeah.
You get some cool shit. You get some printed bricks. You get some fucking custom stickers.
We got a homie who sent in some sets for prizes.
Yeah.
He's
Which is
getting-
like,
Andrew, you're getting some shit.
yeah, everybody's getting some shit. So the three sort of general characters or categories we have that we'll do awards for are, we're calling it, so there's good guys and bad guys.
Good guys.
That's a relative
Yeah.
term,
We thought maybe the Aquanauts were the bad guys. at some point.
Yeah. So it depends on how you interpret this. So I guess we'll start with good guys. If that's
Yeah.
cool with you guys.
Yeah.
So Ned B, our buddy Jay by
Ned
Quadre,
Yep.
sent a bunch of shit. Like he sent a bunch of shit. He sent my favorite build of his is not a good guy. It's this fucking ridiculous shark mech because Murder Shark Boy squads for life.
Yeah.
But also like it's got whips. It's fucking rad. But then he sent a menagerie of things, including this giant sub,
Yeah.
which is fucking rad. So Ned,
Cheers.
cheers to you, bro. You will get this in the mail along with some other bullshit and your builds back, whether they're intact or not.
Yeah. I will do my best. No promises.
No promises.
No promises.
So yeah, I mean like, and Ned's a dude that is one of those guys that like, he gets it, and then his whole process of like sending stuff, like his stuff was packed really well, everything was fucking rad, and he contributed a lot Like it's multiple models. It wasn't just one thing. So we could give Ned a lot of these different awards, but you end up with this one because you end up with this one, and it's fucking awesome. So thank you, dude, for sending shit in, man.
Yep.
And he's across the country. You know, he's not down the street by any means. So it's not cheap. This isn't a low effort kind of thing. Like, you got to build the thing, you got to send it, and none of this happens without this guy. By the way,
Yeah.
like
Champion of the community.
fucking amazing.
I'm not doing that.
Alright.
So then we have the bad guys, and this is again, it's subjective who's good or bad.
Because we really think the opposite.
Yeah. But he sent a lot, and he sent multiple models. But I think the one that everybody's gonna love is the king crab. So Micah,
Michael!
fucking shout
Micah,
out to you, bro.
Cheers to you.
The Stingrays contingent is strong, dude. So like, and
I just like the fact that Mike has just been he's like, I've already got a Stingrays thing going on.
yeah. He was like,
we gave him the perfect outlet, and
Before Micah, there was no Stingrays.
Yeah.
Micah put the Stingrays on the board first.
Yeah.
And then, a couple people
and
also
he
contributed to
like
Stingrays when we started.
very similar to another build that we'll probably talk about later. He made me have an appreciation for a theme that's kind of trash.
yeah. Well, it's not for me because
Also
of like
very subjective.
my particular age and interaction with the themes and whatnot. Like the core Aquanauts Aqua Sharks defines Aqua Zone to me, and everything else outside of that sort of like ancillary, less cool kind of stuff. And the Stingrays, like the only Stingray set I have is that little tiny Recon one, the Recon Ray or whatever. So it's like my interaction with Stingrays is just not there. And then Micah was like, bang, I'm sending my fucking crab Stingray army. And we were like, oh shit. And then Ryan built a fucking Stingray, and I was like, I gotta get in on this and build some Stingray. So it's like that kind of like energy of just like.
And Nick's smaller.
The
flappers.
I want to talk about
Flappers.
the feedback loop.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So the crazy thing is it works so well. Like Micah has his, and like we're like, dude, we have to put Nick's like flanky Micah's maybe one front one, and it was like purposefully displayed to where it's like this makes sense. Like and it works so well.
Oh, and like all of the way the setup kind of works is that everything's sort of done by faction because that kind of jives with storytelling.
Yeah.
And I've talked about this many times this weekend already. But in our private, super secret chat, we were kind of talking about, when Jeff was cutting little pieces of construction paper out, how are we going to position all this stuff? And I was like, well, I think we should have the two big crustaceans defending the sea base from the stingrays, the squids, and the sharks. And I was like, fuck, we did it! Like, that is amazing!
That
Like,
sentence right
God
there.
damn!
The fact that is a thing is phenomenal.
Yeah. So the third mail-in award is for best creature, and this was kind of a hard one to pick because
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
Like, for mail-in creature, come on.
No, there's no.
I mean, god damn it,
We'll
dude.
let you say it was hard to pick. It was hard to pick. Come on.
It was the easiest to
It
pick.
probably was.
Yeah. I'm fucking floored by this because number one, the build's amazing, but also like this is kind of a moment in history for me because John Palmer's been out of the scene for a decade, and he built a goddamn giant glorious squid, and it's fucking incredible, and it's massive, it's fucking huge.
It's got this huge Rock Raiders drill at the center of it, It's just like,
bro. And
it's a weird, much maligned theme that I never.
Again, like the
He gave it more
stingrays.
love than
Yeah.
anyone
Yeah.
ever has.
and
Yeah.
also shout out to Kapados' little
Yeah.
like, because that's why I jumped on the Aqua Raider bandwagon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He made those little guys. They got
Like-
it's like a little tiny sub made just to vandalize stuff.
Yeah.
Hammers and chainsaws.
There is like a 1-2 punch with operators again where it's like a theme I don't give any fucks about. I thought it was dumb as shit and super goofy, and then John, Nick, and then fucking Jeff's building super cool shit, and I was like, I got one of those dumb windscreens. I'm gonna build a bulldozer because undersea bulldozers.
Undersea bulldozers.
Exactly. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So John, you win this super rad, fucking awesome
I
creature
love that.
statue.
That's such a weird squid, man.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome.
I would just want to say, Palmer was messaging back and forth, and he was like, "Man, I really wanted to build a base for this thing," and I was like, "Dude, we'll get it figured out." And Morrow decided the squid is emerging from the kelp forest.
Yeah.
And once that came, like it happened while I was out of the hall, and I came back and I was like, I immediately recognized what was happening.
Yeah.
Like,
Shout out to Braum
I
for
don't know.
building those
Yeah.
huge
Yeah.
stacks of kelp.
I know
Like,
that kelp is awesome.
oh, it looks so
Yeah.
good,
I wish
dude.
we had 3 or 4 times as much as we had.
Yeah.
I agree.
So
But
good
dude,
for the
but
dio.
when I saw that, I was like, dude, who that is it? And Jeff said, oh yeah, that was that's exactly what he was going for. And I was like, dude, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
that was
It's
so
like
cool.
again, you could just tell it's like coming out. Of
Well, it is. It's,
surprise
the
attack.
motion is
Yes.
right there.
Oh,
Dude,
it is.
The motion is built into the squid,
Yeah,
you know, because
it's
it's like.
fantastic.
The funniest thing is, so I see fucking Braum, because of course it's Braum. He's gonna be reassembling the squid, and he's got his phone on the table next to him. And what I would expect, like, I saw many people assemble other people's scented models over the last day before that. They have their phone, and there's a photo. Braum has just a wall of text from John Palmer. And he's like, and I'm like,
Oh man.
are you texting with Palmer? And he's like, yeah, he sent me instructions. And I was like,
Not pictorial.
dude, like
There was an album. There was an album too.
Well,
to be fair,
but
like,
it was very like explicit of like hold it here, flip it this way, put this thing on, like order operations,
Yeah,
like
makes sense.
It was also very well shipped. Everything was individually bagged. Like the parts were like.
And like, how awesome is it that like we've got Dr. Braum and like Palmer like interacting? It's like,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
if,
Oh,
it's
they're-
like
they're
if
facing
Skynet and
off.
the weird space baby from
Yeah.
2001
And then the
were
book,
communicating
and then the
or
bookend
something.
of Derek Shin on the other end, putting a little mini stabbing the engine intake.
Actual.
yeah, we're back.
Shit,
We're
we were
back.
taping that?
Holy shit, we're back.
Sorry.
Yeah, so we weren't talking about whatever we were talking about, but we're talking about awards for people here now, which is fucking incredible.
In person.
In person, people who have brought shit all the way from wherever they're from.
You
to
got
here.
your life together.
You got your life together. You came here. I fucking deleted the notes that I was referencing right now, so I'm buying time. There we go. We're good. So we've got the same categories: quote unquote good guys, quote unquote bad guys, best creature. They're sort of nebulous categories again, but we do want to recognize people that fucking brought crazy shit here. So
Good guys.
We'll
Go.
start with the good guys, and
So there's a lot of good guy builds.
there's a shit ton.
A lot of yellow on that.
A lot of
There's a
table.
lot of yellow.
Yeah.
There's a lot of yellow.
Which was what
But-
we wanted.
Yeah, we did want that. But this build is unique parts. It's like crazy. Dude, it's just something special. Like, that's how
It's
I feel.
very different than the rest of the kind of like generic Aqua Zone builds. Probably because the dude that built it is very much the guy that built it.
Yeah.
So Scotty,
Cheers.
the kid,
Yeah.
bro, you're awesome.
He's not a kid anymore.
So we've been talking about this.
The old lad. The old lad.
Both Ryan and I. So Ryan and I met Scotty for the first time when we were working in Chief Lug, like way billion years ago. And I'm pretty sure the first time Scotty came to Ryan's house, his mom dropped him off and then hung out, like in Ryan's living room, while the three of us, 2 grown adult men and a 14-year-old child, futzed around with some plastic Legos in another room. And I was like, wow, that's wild. And then you look at Scotty and he's a 31-year-old man now. And I'm like, it's been a bizarre journey a little bit. But he built this like crystal conveyor belt processing industrial
thing.
plant.
Basically,
It's-
farming the seafloor for the MacGuffin that is the silver
It
crystals.
kind of reminds me of Simon Stallenhanger a lot too. Just 'cause it's
Dude,
like
that's a great.
farm equipment, a little
Yeah.
bit of sci-fi to it.
Yeah. And it's got fucking incredible parts usage. Like there's just nice part usage all the way around. And this is one of those
And
things
there's
where
the
like
conveyor belt. There's some 70s part.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
I don't
that's
even know this thing, but
insanely rare. It's older than me. When I'm old, it's fucking dumb that Scotty has a part that's literally older than he is in his build because that's how Scotty fucking rolls, which is like wild. And here's what I love about the dio and the way this works, right? It's just Scotty builds this thing. We're all super impressed. We're all like, cool, this makes sense. It would be part of this ecosystem underwater where these dudes harvest crystals or whatever. How are we gonna fucking fit this in? And then B- brings a ridiculous fucking ship that he's just filled with crystals.
So much crystal.
So logically,
it's a huge basket of crystal.
they're right next to each other.
Yeah.
Because of course they are. And it all makes sense. And when you look at the fucking dial and you look at the position or you look at this fucking photo, like,
It tells a story.
It all
Here's
works, right?
Here's a
Yeah.
picture of them together. It tells a story.
and then we started like, and it was perfect because Brandon was like, had some dudes and he was like, yeah, we'll have the dudes like kind of hanging off the ship and it ties everything sort of together. So it was fucking great, man. And Scotty, dude, is just such a good time.
Yeah.
Like, he
The level of stoke is very, very
yeah,
high.
yeah. And the crazy thing about it too is that Scotty brought Dane with him, and I haven't seen Dane since 2010. So I literally haven't seen Dane for 12 years. And when I saw Dane, Dane was a child, and Dane is a grown ass man now, which is kind of crazy to me.
Feeling old yet?
Oh yeah, dude. And then I'm super jealous because Dane bought the fucking 2 Aqua Shark sets
Dude.
with the boxes, and
Yeah.
I was like, you son of a bitch. They were good prices, and the fucking the good one with the opaque canopy has the whole goddamn poster inside of it that's like mint.
Oh
Dude.
wow.
And I
And,
was
and
like-
the canopy is pristine.
Yeah,
It's
oh,
been
yeah,
in a
it's
box.
like, dude,
Yeah,
it's
dude,
nice.
oh man, it's magical.
I do gotta say, there's a lot of people selling vintage Lego here. Like that is clearly like the market is like they've realized that we're the marks.
Oh, and it's crazy because just in the last 3 years, thanks to the pandemic and everything, like collectorship has gone off
And
the chain.
Yeah.
and the
So,
pricing is
The pricing-
not cheap.
Nope.
No.
Not
God,
cheap.
no.
Not gonna drop names, but there is a person that we know and they've spent over $1,000 in like 10 minutes. It's fucking crazy. So okay, so we
Bad
got
guys.
we
So
got
Scotty.
bad guys.
Scotty,
Scotty.
this one's for you.
You get this. This is literally the one you're gonna take home.
Yeah.
I will try not to throw it on the ground. So bad guys. Bad
I
guys.
so wanted to throw that on the ground right now.
So there's a bunch of builds this guy brought because, of course, Proud Love brings the noise
Yeah,
every
Proud
fucking
Love.
time.
Yeah.
Again, like another dude that like.
Haven't seen in like 6
Yeah,
six
yeah,
to 10 years.
2014.
I get it.
Star Vikings.
My
Star
first
I get a
Vikings.
little
Yeah.
emotional.
So-
8 years.
8
Yeah.
8
Yes,
years. My
dude.
fellow Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Proud Love's coming from the East Coast, so like the first night he's on like he had to fucking leave at 1 a.m. and fucking transfer planes and all this shit, and he shows up
It's like
and he's
four,
just like
4 or 5 time zone. Or 4
yeah,
time
he's
zones?
like I'm on like 26 hours of being awake, and he's just slamming beers and hanging out and fucking
He
in the
was up
Lego
later
party.
than us
And I
last
was like,
night.
yeah,
Like,
dude.
oh,
He is a champion among men.
Yeah.
But he brought a bunch of builds. The one ostensibly that this is for his Aqua Sharks anglerfish.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
So
it's so good.
nasty.
Like on
all the right
so many
ways.
levels, and like instead of a light at the end, it is one of the crystals that,
Yeah, right.
that like
And it's got an Aquanaut trapped in the mouth, which is fucking like perfect.
yeah.
But then he also brought these gliders, and he has these like water missile effects.
Yeah.
that are
Oh,
like
yeah, those
They're
are
super
also bad
effective.
guys.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, and it's like that kind of stuff adds to the dynamicism of what could be like a really boring static thing.
Yeah.
Like he just knows.
right. And,
Yeah.
and Aaron made a mech that's a smallish mech that's got with a dude with a trident. So we made him the leader of the Aqua Sharks, doing like
Yeah. He's
follow
fucking
me,
the
the
charge.
battle
this
cry.
way.
The charge.
And then, but he's flanked by the 4 missiles.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, like those 2 whatever they're called, cave riders.
Oh yeah,
Like,
dude.
There's a
kinda
little
look like
cave
There's
Cave
a
Riders,
little
like
cave racer
massive
vibe to that.
Underslung missile pods.
Yeah.
For the record, Andrew, a water missile is called a torpedo.
Don't get all technical on me.
That's not even technical.
God damn it.
Also a note for me.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
Spread
bro,
around
they're
the
different. They're different.
maybe in the future there's water missiles. How
Yeah.
do you know?
That might be a water missile if you heard that in the background.
Yeah, right.
So we have
So Nathan,
Nathan.
Nathan.
You
Dude,
fucking
you
rock.
brought the noise.
As always. What's gonna be funny is like we're acting like this is a live award show, and there might be intercut things of just fucking chaos.
Maybe this is your.
You in this
Oh.
All right. You know who it is.
Yes, I do.
We know who it is.
Nice. What are you gonna do next, Scotty?
Drink some beers.
Good plan.
Bad guy remote. Somebody who sent something in. Nobody would fucking give a shit about stingrays if it wasn't for Micah. Yeah. All right, in-person bad guy. And bad guy's a nebulous term. Let's be real, depending on where you lean on the political system.
They had ugly faces.
But fucking proud love. Alright, so we got a third category. It's the creature category. So we're going for remote creature. I'm so glad all you dudes are here, by the way. Yeah. John Palmer. He definitely rode his squid. 100%.
So the third one is best creature for here, which, goddamn, dude. Like,
Speaking of crowd pleasers.
yeah.
Dr. Brom.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so this is where I, again, like going back to the team thing. Rom doesn't build for shit. He builds for us.
Yeah.
Like, that makes me feel super extra special, dude. Like, it's fucking incredible. And he built this thing that has what are the beach crawling things?
The strand beasts.
Yes.
Yeah. Articulated legs.
It's got that vibe, and before he cladded it in the crab armor, he just had like a video of it, like fucking going down the hallway. Which was
That's a perfect.
It scuttles sideways, which is like it's so unnerving.
Gives you the heebie-jeebies, and then you put the fucking pinchy claws and shit, and I was like, God damn, Brom, you're fucking glorious.
Yeah.
And obviously, the crowd is loving it.
Yeah.
Like,
Also, you're facing off versus the other award-winning creature.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So, crab versus squid.
That should be Brickcon's theme next year.
Yeah.
Probably the most disturbing creature when you see it move, and it thrills children around Seattle. Dr. Brom. All right, so that's our 3 categories for remote, 3 categories for here, but we do have 2 more awards, which the prizes have been generously donated by one Andrew Sada Dada Dada. Shout out to you, dude. We're calling them the Good Lad, Bad Lad Awards, but really it's fucking community heroes. The lad here, the good lad. Will.
Yeah.
There he is.
You have a
It's the whatever the fucking Aquanaut said
the
is.
sub.
The one with
It's
the
cool.
sub.
It's in the hall.
thing.
You will get it tomorrow.
The main
Yeah,
one.
it's classic. It's
Yes.
fucking like new.
Yes.
You will have it soon. Hell yeah.
It's yellow and dark blue.
And then we got I don't know if bad lad is necessarily the right term. Maybe more badass lad.
Mad lad?
I think he makes the fucking chat
Yeah, Mad Lad. That's good.
a more entertaining
Mad lad,
place to
yeah.
thrive in. And he also built tiny little assholes that want to vandalize subs. So Cabados. You will get another Aqua Zone set. I don't know what it looks like. It's weird. It's rare.
And I guess Micah too.
It's rare.
It's weird.
I can't believe that this is I think it's a really cool prize. I didn't know this existed. I didn't follow the line, and even Morrow, like who I thought was kind of our expert, he's like, I don't know that I've seen this.
Yeah, it's a weird
Yeah,
one.
which
It's
is
a weird
sweet.
one, which is even better. It's
Yeah.
even better.
Right. So congrats. And thank you, Nick.
Yes.
Yeah. So we've got one more award, and this is the big deal award. And again, so when Zach was showing off these trophies, it was like bang, 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 and they were all fucking gold. Like every single one was great. And then Zach, you showed us this, and this is goddamn glorious, dude. Fucking A, man. Like, again, this is where I'm like, why is your trophy better than my builds?
Yeah.
God damn
And it's
it,
so
dude.
like oddly poignant because the guy is going away from you.
Yeah,
Into the
yeah,
depths,
yeah.
you know,
It's
well,
got some kind of like emotional
Poetry.
storytelling
Yeah,
to it.
no, poetry.
Yeah, yeah.
Snag of the word, yeah.
So we're calling this best in show, best in display.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of reasons that this is happening, but I think universally, and this is even before it got here, we saw one image from this dude, and everybody lost their goddamn mind.
Yeah.
Because Jack built a sub that is exploding,
Yeah.
and the dude is holding his breath, and there's a fucking rubber ducky in a bubble, and the creature is just crunching the shub, and it's such a moment. It's like,
dynamic.
yeah,
Yes.
man, it's this
It's
capture.
a freeze frame of like the most outrageous
And it's
action.
also pretty great because it's on a chunk of floor that has a C-Lab sign that's kind of in the sand, so it's almost like
Yeah, yeah.
it's almost sort of like C-Lab as the theme, sort of like nature and sharks and oh my god.
Yeah,
You know, like-
yeah. It tells it, and so like, had Jack only shown up with that, and that had been the only thing, he would have won.
He would have won.
He would have won.
Hands
Like
down.
hands
Well,
down.
he's also been a super
We-
trooper. He's
Yeah, we look at that build, and you're like, fuck, dude. And then Jack, on top of that, built an entire other goddamn fucking base.
Yeah.
Like,
But also
So 4 in the morning.
okay,
Yeah, which is beautiful.
weeks ago, I'm busting on Andrew because he's saying he's gonna have Brom build his stuff, and I'm like, what are you talking about? You're gonna be there. You build your stuff.
Yeah.
I
Which
had
I did.
Jack
I
built
did.
some of my stuff
Yeah.
for me.
Jack built basically everybody that mailed shit in.
And also
Jack
me.
touched. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you.
And he's manned the table during public hours. It's his first convention. He brought the noise.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
and his base build, you can't even see it. It like, well, you can if you know it's there, but there's like a winch inside of the moon pool.
Oh,
that
yeah,
drops
yeah,
down.
yeah.
That's right.
It is
That's right.
Yeah.
And he,
incredible.
and he even
It just-
posted
it
that. He was like,
blows my
I'm
mind.
building stuff that nobody is going to see. And
Yeah.
you're
Well,
like, yeah,
and
One
then-
of us.
that's on brand.
And
That's
then-
one of us.
One
like
of us.
like how it always works. Somehow there's lights that just end up in Jack's display, and it's all consistent. It's
Yeah.
all fucking perfect.
Yeah.
And when someone goes to their first con, they don't know what to expect. He seems to be having a good time. I hope we're doing what we need to do.
We've
for that
either
time.
given
But-
him a fucking great time or
Yeah.
traumatized the fuck out
Yeah.
of him.
Right.
And then
He's
also,
shell shocked.
and then also, like, you don't know when you meet someone in real life, you don't know what they're going to be like.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You don't know if they're
yeah.
going to be cool or not, you know? And Jeff picks him up from the airport and, you know, he brings him in and we start interacting. And dude's a great guy.
Yeah.
He's very easy to talk to. He's chill. It's phenomenal.
Well,
And
so
I think this was the one that when we were talking about, you know, our meeting to discuss who it is like the first thing that we wanted to talk about. And like,
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
was like, this was like, I think
the best.
everyone just
it was
knew, like,
it
this
was
is what-
really
Like,
a
yeah.
unanimous,
Well, like
easy.
you're
decision.
obviously gonna like post photos of the exploding cockpit, but
Yep.
I tried like 5-6 different like angles. Nothing like
Oh.
can convey how amazing
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
in person, and being able to like see the dynamicism of it. It's
Yeah, building explosions is not easy.
Yeah, and it's funny. It's like
Building
it's
underwater
like this much of a
explosions.
build is
Yeah.
like the most like compelling thing.
Yeah,
And we
yeah.
filled up 32 feet of space, and I'm like fixated on like this much.
Well, and what I really love about it is that he captured an element of the storytelling that's really easy to overlook, because it's like the display ostensibly could just be submarines and bad guy submarines fighting, but the world that they exist in, the environment that they exist in, is fucking terrifying and full of creatures that will just kill you, and you just die in the water all the time. And that's not something that anybody else was doing. Like that's really like the only moment and capture of that. There's some background kind of stuff with some creatures
Yeah,
and
like,
fish and
just
stuff,
the-
but like the danger is palpable. It's
Yeah.
not even the like giant stingray army or the sharks or the fucking giant squid. It's like you can just get murked fucking looking at some seaweed.
Yeah.
Like,
Alright.
uh,
Congrats, Jack.
so yeah,
So, Jack,
Please.
shout out to Jack.
You
Best in
deserve
show. Fucking
without question.
Yeah.
2022. Fucking brought it.
Welcome to Brickcon.
Yeah. We did a thing. Hey, here's the guy.
Things?
Here's the
What
guy.
kind of things did we do?
Magic Internet things. Magic Internet. Meet Jack. Jack. Internet. Yeah.
It's really good to meet you, Internet.
I didn't fuck up, guys. I didn't fuck up. We were real close, but we didn't do it. So yeah, I just wanted to fucking bring Jack here because I think you have a very unique perspective on this show because this is your first con,
This is my first con.
which is fucking wild.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So for a little bit of context, I mean, I guess we have some kind of like shared history that we should go into. So I went to school in the town that you grew up in, that you work in, and 20 years ago, I saw your Lego models in a toy store, and I was like, man, like me and my roommate Paul, shout out to Paul, we saw these fucking Gundams. You had the Death Scythe with the big fucking giant schism like fucking
Feel free
crazy
to insert
scythe.
those in there so they know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. More work for me, but there you go, internet. But yeah, so I saw these models, and they like really had an impression on me 20 years ago, and then fucking just shit happens. You know, life happens. I graduate school. I leave fucking San Luis Obispo. I go on. I meet a bunch of assholes. I start doing shit like this, and then back in January, so 9 months ago, I went to San Luis Obispo for the first time in probably like a decade. And you were there, and your models were still there. And I was like, oh shit. And I fucking asked you, I was like, hey, do you know the guy that built that? And you were like, oh, it's me. And I was like, bro, get on in here. Like,
Well, I recognize you because I followed you on Flickr forever. At least since Iron Builder days.
Okay.
And I think before that.
I guess that makes sense. Like Iron Builder did like it was a thing. It was definitely a thing. It's weird. Like when you say like I recognize you from the internet, that trips me out because like that's bizarre. Also, because like
yeah, but that's what Flickr is for Lego people.
Yeah. I mean, it's very much a small community in a small world, and you're very much involved. Like it, you know. So back in January, Jack and I sort of like reconnect for lack of a better term, and then Jack gets involved in the Discord, and you sort of like get involved in like my immediate circle in a pretty heavy way. Like you were
Pretty
just
quickly.
in. Yeah, like it was
Because you
pretty
like my
rad.
stuff, I like your stuff.
Yeah.
It just clicks.
Yeah, and you're definitely like the right kind of person to be in the.
I'm a terrible
Bricks and
person,
Beer.
so yes.
Perfect. We only like assholes here. But yeah,
Pod
so
6 full of what?
jerks. You know, Pod 6. You guys know Pod 6. But yeah, so then fast forward for fucking 9 months, you joined the Discord, and now you're here.
Yes.
Tell me about it. Like,
Well, somebody said this is the best convention to go to.
okay, probably was me, but
yes.
okay.
I was getting excited because, like, hey, he's down in LA. Maybe I should finally go around and do Bricks LA.
You made the better choice. You made the right choice. I mean, I'm just gonna say you made the right
I'm still excited
choice.
about Bricks LA though, because I want to just load up everything in
Yeah,
my car.
yeah.
Take everything because I still have just about everything I've ever built.
Which is like, dude, I gotta say, like, I mean, this is sort of a tag off part 2 of the episode that you assholes have been watching. But Jack just got here, so he doesn't know anything that we've talked about prior to this. But we did kind of talk about that you brought a fuck ton of stuff, dude. Like,
It's really only 2 pieces.
they're
It's
not
cra-
small.
it-
They're not small. They're
They
significant,
fit into one carry-on.
which is amazing to me. Which is good
Mm.
because you also have you've dropped some coin on some Lego since you've
I am
been here.
stupid, yes. I don't know if you saw what I posted in the Discord, but yes.
Dude, so
There's too much temptation here.
So you're one set away from being Blacktron 1 complete.
yes.
That's wild. That's great.
I didn't even notice until like after, but yes. And it's like, wait, I look on Bricklink, I only need 1. And it's a small one.
Yeah, it's not the fucking big expensive ones.
And the weird thing is, it's not even like right color scheme. It's like
It's
black
got the
and
white. Yeah, the white
What,
fucking.
this is Blacktron. What's white doing here?
Yeah, you guys could see that photo. But yeah, I also am not familiar with that set. So when
Yeah.
you said that's why in the
Well, I
Discord
looked at
I
Bricklink.
had to fucking look it up. So I was like, what is this? Like, so yeah, man.
Bricks and
Obviously,
Beer Discord is the best place ever. Shout out.
yeah, I mean, like, if you guys watch this and you're at all interested in any of this bullshit, it is kind of the
The
hub of the activity
It's
and
the
the hang, and it is bigger than just, being physically together in person. It is very much like a warm, embracing, welcoming community that is...
It's just awesome people.
Yeah.
I mean, the con is kind of what I expected.
Okay.
what I didn't expect was the people are amazing.
Dude, that gives me the warm fuzzies, dude. That's rad.
It gives me the warm fuzzies. Damn. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, Jeff, he welcomed me. He waited at the station for me at the airport to take me through the station because I have no idea where I'm going. I've been to Seattle once, but I still have no idea where I'm going.
Yeah.
I mean, he waited like 40 minutes for me. It's like,
and it's relatively easy to get here.
I
But
don't know
there
him
is
in real life
multi
until
steps to it. There, if you don't know what you're doing, you can definitely get fucked and like turn around.
Oh,
and,
totally.
Like, yeah. Well, dude, number one, I'm just stoked that you're here and you're having a good time. And like,
as am I.
I feel like you've definitely embraced the entirety of the scene. Like it's everything from the like we're shooting now in my shitty. It's not a shitty hotel room. It looks like shit because we've been living in here.
It's
for
a
3.5
nice hotel,
days.
actually.
Yeah, but so like you've done everything from like this, the like super chill, informal like hotel hang to like you just got off a public day, and this is your first public day.
Yeah.
So tell me about that. How was it?
It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what your problem is with people. Why do you hate people, Andrew?
Oh, well, for a variety of reasons. I mean, this is a whole other podcast where we can get
fair.
into that. But I think the thing about
This is where I turn the interview on you.
yes, I did not see this coming. I did not expect this. But for me, like, public day it's such an interaction with Joe Normie.
Yeah.
And what I come here for is to be like with
your
the
friends.
tribe. Yeah. So it's like, it's great. Like
It's
obviously,
like, you're a wonderful person, but I don't know you. I don't care about you.
yeah. No, and I didn't fly all the way here to fucking have a conversation with you. I came here to hang with the homies.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Me,
like,
on the other hand, I don't know anybody yet. I'm just learning who these people are, trying to remember your names.
yeah. Well, it's a lot.
I followed you on Flickr. I still don't know who you are because I don't associate the face with who you are.
Yeah. And you've had a lot of like sort of first time experiences, which we should. I mean, I want to kind of like just get your impressions because I think it's very rare for people to have a first time experience where it's like you're in the community. This isn't new to you per se,
Mhm.
but all the like in public bullshit or like in person bullshit stuff. So like last night we did a draft.
Oh,
and
yeah,
that was
that
your
was
first
fun.
draft. So
yeah,
like,
but I gave out pretty good on that.
oh yeah, no, you didn't fuck around. You knew what you were doing. You're still like a seasoned builder. You weren't like, what are these parts? Like you knew what you were going after. But like, tell me about that. Like, what was your whole experience about that?
Okay, well, Lights, Chief, Ryan, whatever you want to call him.
Yep.
Amazing freaking dude. He is coming from New York, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's go all over the country.
Yeah.
And now currently I think in New York. But he is super amazing, nice guy.
He's
set
kind
up
of
a
the
draft.
nicest. He's kind of
He's
the
the nicest
guy.
person in the world.
Yeah.
Wearing his Hawaiian shirt, and
Yeah.
which may or may not technically be a Hawaiian shirt.
It's debatable. The facts that I was talking about last night might not be facts.
No, the other guy that was wearing a Hawaiian shirt was schooling us on Hawaiian shirts too. So
Okay, maybe
I'm
they were
not
facts.
sure. They're yeah, it's beyond my knowledge.
Yeah, but like, so that's a perfect thing where it's like,
Anyway, Ryan was setting up the draft
yeah,
and going out of his way. He didn't even get to participate in it because there were just so many people that wanted in on this draft.
it was pretty
It was
wild.
fun.
It was pretty wild.
It was
and
fun.
What's rad is to like, you drafted with a bunch of people that have all drafted before. So there's the two favorite things on a draft for me, which is the shit talking. The shit talking is the best, and then the like just
Swoop
the
before
speed.
somebody.
Yeah, well, yeah, this kind of goes hand in hand with the shit talking, but the like one man's trash is another man's treasure.
Mm.
But we all kind of have the same vibe, so like we all kind of know what's more valuable than not. But for me, like the way I view drafting is like playing poker, right?
Well, that's like everybody going, "Oh, he took it." No.
Yeah. It's like it's just such a cool communal building element. Aaron's sneaking in here with his coffee. If you hear some background noise, it's fine. Say what's up, Aaron.
What's up, Aaron?
There you go. Yeah, so the draft was rad, and I'm super glad you got to participate in that because I feel like that is one of the best like in-person AFOL things you can do, because it's such a bizarre little social construct of like.
Yeah.
And also, as a dude that doesn't get to like hang out with a group of people, like you don't have a lug, right?
No.
Anywhere near Central
There's
Coast.
Tommy at one point I think had a lug there. I was never involved in that. I have talked to Tommy a little bit.
Tommy's
but-
kind of out of the scene a little bit, and you
He's
do
taking a break.
you do have some people that are near you. I mean, shout out to Scotty and Dane. They're sort of Central Coast-ish, but there's obviously not like a huge thriving scene. Putting the signal out there. If anybody wants to fucking Jack's starting a lug, it's gonna be called slow lug.
I don't know.
Sure. But I, as a person that doesn't have like access to that, I think it's got to be pretty cool to fucking actually like get to hang out with the people and do the thing, and then you get a billion parts. Like you went for volume over speciality. I kind of feel like in the draft.
I think I got both.
Yeah. Because your bag was pretty sizable.
Yes, it was.
Everybody else, like, I don't know.
Twice the size of most people.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you swooped up the fucking Exoforce click hinges right away, and I was like, that was a good move. It was a fucking pile of parts on the table.
Mm.
So yeah, that's the draft, and then the Dio. So this is the first time you've built for a collab, right?
Technically, I did a few at the store with just 2 people.
Shout out to Tom's Toys. I don't know if you want to put that business out there.
Yeah, Tom's Toys, San Luis Obispo, cool toy store.
Great
Closest
toy store.
thing to a Lego store within 200 miles of there. So there are no Lego stores other than
and
like
because
Glendale
Jack
or
works
anything.
there, if you have any interest in CMF's collectible minifigs, they're labeled. You can buy exactly what you want to buy.
I have
is
groped
refreshing.
a lot of minifigures.
Yes, probably more than Capatos, which is saying something.
Hmm.
But yeah, so there's the Dio collab aspect of it, but you've never done like the fucking
never
throw
done
a thing
con.
in it. Yeah, like so. How is that?
Pretty fun.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it. It's just fun.
And you pushed hard towards the end.
Yeah.
Like there's been some 4 a.m. numbers thrown around of you were building right up to packing the suitcase.
Yeah. And that second pod I made, I don't know if we'll probably find you a picture for that.
But yeah. We definitely will have some photos.
Okay,
here.
but anyway, that one I built. Well, I did the whales that are kind of hovering around it like a couple days before, but the pod itself I built in 3 days.
Yeah, dude, which is crazy.
And like you were talking about on your pod, those wedge pieces to match that window.
Oh yeah, dude, I hate that dome bit.
Did I tell you about mine?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, so finding out how to do that same wedge plates, I was going through a bunch of bulk yellow that I had, largely from Tom's Toys. I found all these 45 wedge plates, which are more like the older wing one.
Oh, they have the little triangle.
Yeah,
outlet.
the little bite out of the corner.
That one. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I found them all in the same direction.
Okay.
None of the opposing one, but it works because it's a full circle.
Oh, that's right. Because you do have a perfect dome all the way around there.
And it worked out perfectly.
Yeah. Oh man. All right, I gotta go back and look at your shit.
I'll show you that.
Yeah. Dude, that again, like that's kind of like the beauty of all this. I feel like there's a lot of stuff where it's like you push a lot of effort into shit for the con, and then it just all works out, and especially like getting here and figuring stuff out. Like we talked a lot about the revision and sort of like recalibrating the display and moving stuff and like changing things around.
Well, Jeff and Zach just art directing. Amazing job.
They're on it. They're in their bag. Like 100% this con, they're in
I just
their
look
bag.
at anything I can do to help, I'll do it.
Dude, you're the fucking man, dude. You have done so much for this display, and then on top of that, like you're a first timer, so it's like you're fucking crushing the game right now, which is fucking great. And I'm just super glad that you're like able to get up here and experience this and meet people and meet like the OG heads, but then also fucking like Joe Public and get to experience like the full Brickcon experience. So I'm super happy you're here, man. It's
a
rad.
blast.
It's rad. So yeah, I mean, is there anything else that anything you've seen at the con that's fucking blowing your mind that's not our bullshit?
No, ours is the best.
Okay, fair.
No,
fair.
there's definitely awesome stuff, but ours is the best. I can't lie there.
Yeah. So you've done the pre-party hotel party bullshit with us. You've done fucking a semi-official draft. You've been part of the after hours thing. You've now been part of the fucking non-stop public onslaught for the first day. You'll get to experience our bullshit later tonight, which is the same as the other bullshit. And kind of what I said to you that first night was like, dude, if you're having a good time with this, then this weekend's gonna be fucking stellar. If you fucking hate this,
It's not.
it's gonna be a bad time in general. But obviously you're having a good time. So fucking like, cheers to you, Jack, man. Hey, man.
I got water.
Yeah. No worries. So all right. I mean, we're still kind of in the thick of it, so we're gonna get back to the thing. But fucking, I wanted to have you on because I feel like it's a big deal that you're here, and it's fucking
fun.
super happy for you, man. And then also, fucking, you bought fucking crazy amounts of Lego, and I'm like, am I sending you on the dark path? we talked about either. I was like,
path since I started.
I was like, okay. So we got him here. He's either gonna have the best time of his fucking life, or he's gonna go home just traumatized. Hey,
why can't it be both?
there you go. All right, with that, Jack, you're the fucking man. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for coming to Brickcon. Thank you for doing this bullshit.
Thank you, internet.
Yeah, there
I'm
we
out.
go.
We held an official meeting of the Grand Council to determine this award by unanimous decision, and it was the fucking easiest, quickest decision the five of us I think have ever made. Fucking best in show, Jack.
Jack's first convention has like manned the Dio, has helped set up, was like
He built basically all of your bullshit.
It was amazingly helpful.
Yeah, he's apparently an official Wacklog hype man. It all works out. So, fucking, number one, thank you guys all again for doing this. Like, none of this happens without any of you guys. Like, really, like, it's fucking crazy to me that there's people on the other side of this computer and people in this room that would be interested at all in, like, engaging in our bullshit to begin with.
Yeah.
So that's fucking amazing. But I think we got one last trophy. I want to tee up my boy Aaron here.
So, we all know that this wouldn't have happened without one man. He's the champion of the community. This is the group hug award.
We got one last thing to do, which involves this kid getting some secret stuff.
Yeah.
Which, and so ostensibly, the five of us put on this display. We've worked as a group, we've coordinated. He's coordinated.
He's the champion of the community right here. And
so
he will be recognized.
We definitely do not give ourselves awards because that would be super douchey.
No, I give you guys awards.
But we give ourselves.
Okay.
We find a way.
So, I don't know how to do this. I'm just going to bring them
Just
out.
fucking whip them
I'm
out,
going
bro.
to explain to people how they work and, Alright.
This is a surprise.
Look, I got a secret room over
Yeah. This is how fucking professional this year is. We've got our own studio. We've got a secret storage room.
Yes. Shit.
Shit. Dude, Zach, again, I gotta say, your fucking trophies are better than our builds, dude.
There's some features.
Fuck.
Dude,
There's some features. Watch this. You take the little
brick built
brick
bird.
built, pop it off.
Is that
and
a
look
bird?
what's behind it. Yeah, it's the brick built bird, bros.
And for those of you not in the know, this is a micro-scale version of our base. So this is Zach's base. This is Jeff's base. This is Pod 6. This is fucking Maro's sub.
Yep.
And this is Aaron's bird that he threw on top of it.
Where's that yours?
No, it's Aaron's.
No,
It's Aaron's.
holy crap.
I'm represented by Via Pod 6.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Aaron,
Durr,
Aaron,
okay.
Aaron
Yeah,
put a
yeah.
word on it. That's
Oh,
I put a shark on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
So,
This is
Zach, you're fucking incredible.
this is a masterpiece.
Like,
this is a
I'm
masterpiece,
goddamn, dude.
Like
Yeah.
holy crap!
Wow. Okay, you totally fooled me because you showed me this, but you said it was for an earlier build that you
Yes.
did,
Uh-huh.
right?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got me.
That trick.
So,
Zach, I
Zach,
love this.
Zach, you are
bro,
you
I love
are
though,
you
but,
are
like,
a champion
The little
of the community.
vaporwave action going on over here,
Yeah.
the curved sides. This is like,
Yeah.
oh,
You gotta do it.
Wow.
You gotta
Wow.
do it.
Wow.
You gotta do it.
thanks, man.
Yeah.
dude.
That's
So-
what that was.
Good weekend
I
so far. Gotta say.
ended on a high note.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think it could get better than this.
Again,
right now.
again, fucking shout out to everybody that fucking participated, whether you're here, whether you mailed shit in, whatever. Zach, you continue to be the fucking champion.
Yeah, I love you all.
Love you too, dude. All you guys.
We're gonna go party. We're gonna go do some stuff.
Yeah.
In reality, we're gonna nap in order to.
Whatevs.
Shh, don't give away the secrets. But yeah, so I know it's been a while since we've done this because life is crazy. Maybe we'll do one of these again soon. I don't know.
It's good to be back.
Yeah, yeah.
It feels like coming home.
Pod 6 is jerks.
Pod 6 is
Jerks.
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 Cheers, internet.